If your team is only on League Pass, sorry. Wow, get wrecked. This one's from Tom Haberstroh. I remember when this guy was like a San Francisco beat guy. I think for the 49ers? For the Warriors. NBA assigns its best, most experienced referees to the Lakers and the Warriors, worst caliber refs to the Magic. League almost never puts rookie refs on Lakers, Sixers, and Knicks games. I'll explain in a simple way I calculate ref rating. Each morning, NBA publicly announces its refs for each game with role assignments. Track this for every game, and we can see which refs the NBA trusts in its leader role, crew chief, secondary role, and last ump. Based on the NBA's rules, I create a very simple 5-point referee rating that a kindergartner could follow, but it's helpful once you map out every referee with its distribution of role. You see a stratified pattern among them, certain refs being the head, and certain refs not getting crew or ref duties. Once you calculate ref rating, you can see which teams receive top and bottom refs. Everything's clear that marquee teams get preferential treatment by the NBA. Top 5 teams in ref rating have been on national TV 80 times. Bottom 5 in ref rating 3 times. And among national games versus ref rating, I like how Tom just brazenly allowing for the tooltip just to exist as part of. Is this like one of those like off-white zip ties on the shoe thing? Is this one of those like pieces of flair that like you don't cut the tag, you don't like take the sticker off the hat? You might be thinking, wait, do the biggest audience tend to get the best refs? Trend is obvious. TV channels with the largest audience has the highest ref rating and descends from there. If your team is only on League Pass, sorry. Wow, get wrecked. The national TV factor is not the only one. Once you strip away national TV games, the trend still favors big market teams. Even on non-national TV games, the Lakers receive the best refs on average. You know what's nice about Tom on this? I'm not a big Tom Haberstroh fan. As a personality, he's just not someone that I gravitate towards. But I respect the deep dive here because he's doing this in a way that seems like you're following the progression, you're following the logic. He's ripping all the data. He has a way to assign points to each ref, which is based off the hierarchy of refs, whether you're the chief, all the way down to whether you're the review guy. So this is good. He has transparency in his methodology, and he's using a lot of controls to make sure it's clear that the thing he's trying to say does exist. It isn't just a byproduct of a different trend or a mediated or moderated effect. The trend is here and it's clear regardless of how you cut it. If you just look at TV ratings, if you just look at primetime games, the effect is there. But if you take that all away, the effect is still there for the big market teams. Giving preferential treatment to the Lakers and Warriors is a choice, and it may be a smart bit of business, but I'm guessing most teams and fans would want NBA to distribute the quality of refs evenly among the 30 teams. I think that's true. It's important to have a fairly ref game throughout your entire league, regardless of if a franchise is a big money puller or not. Yes, you want games on primetime TV to get the most even fair treatment across the two teams. But at the same time, you're really impacting the games in Orlando, and the quality of referee in Orlando or in Washington or in Phoenix. And Phoenix is strange, right? Because Phoenix, look at the discrepancy. Like Phoenix in their primetime games versus Phoenix in the not primetime games. Like Phoenix is getting ref balled, right? Phoenix is actually getting ref balled if they're not on a primetime game. And this is going to happen if your team isn't a playoff contending team or a championship contending team. Right? Imagine if Memphis wasn't investing so heavily into their team. Imagine a shitty Memphis team. Do you think Memphis is up here if Memphis is a shitty team? It's the same with Houston. Houston's down here because Houston's not a good team anymore. When Houston is good, you bet your ass it's up here, right? So this is good. This is a good analysis from Tom. I don't mind it. You could go deeper.
Bring back the Sonics.
You could go deeper with this. Like, yes, the rating of the ref is important, and knowing that quote unquote good refs are going to big market teams versus quote unquote bad refs are going to small market teams, it's important to know the effect of the ref. And I think that's the one missing piece here. Like, yeah, you could go out and like wage war against the refs, but until you tell me that these refs up here are different in terms of how points are distributed than these refs down here, this just tells me you don't want to put your A squad on A tier games. You're not putting the S tier refs on the S tier games. Your F tier games, you're putting your F tier refs there. And that's going to be lower stress, hopefully more even scoring, more even refereeing. So until you can tell me Washington, Orlando, Houston, Cleveland are getting ref balled, until you can tell me there's like, you know, point swings that are deciding games because the refs here are lower quality and therefore shittier foul calls or missed calls than up here, then this is really just pitchforks, right? We're just kind of on a somewhat of a witch hunt. And again, refereeing's hard. And if you're an NBA ref, there's a quality that we should expect from top to bottom. And we saw what it looked like when they had like D3 refs reffing in the NBA for one season. Or no, sorry. They had D3, well, was it the NFL? Or like there was a referee strike, and then they replaced the NFL referees with like D3 refs. Was that it? Yeah, that was the NFL, right? Yeah. And so when they brought in these refs who didn't have these primetime games, and then they go from like
referee aging curves when
they go from refereeing these games where like, yeah, missed call here or there, some people are mad, but you don't have an entire country mad at you. You don't have memes being made of you, then like death threats being sent upon you, right? And no one should have that. But at the national level, when it's such a big deal and it's such a, you know, some say mockery, some say, you know, necessity, overall horrible thing that happened, right? Should have completely been avoided. But some of those refs, they've come out and said like that was the greatest time of their life, being able to ref an NFL game, because that's sort of their like a referee kind of dream, is being able to ref the highest level, regardless of how you got there, and like you were shit on because of it, and that does not feel good. Until you can tell me that there was a difference in quality, sort of at that level, where it's like, okay, well, are we replacing NFL refs with D3 refs? Are you telling me we're replacing top tier refs with bottom tier refs in basketball games? Are you telling me that these calls are going to swing in terms of like actual points on the board? Because if so, then yeah, this is something to be mad at. But until you show me that evidence, this is good analysis, maybe misdirected. I agree with the sentiment though. There should be even distribution. But you also don't want to feed new refs to the fucking fire, you know? It's just not something you want to do. It's just not a good... you don't want... Similar to like the D3 refs in Monday Night Football games, you don't want to put rookie refs in a Golden State versus LA Lakers game. They'll get roasted, right?